Greg Tepper, Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here in San Antonio at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention with the past president of the THSCA, the past director, THSCA?
Well, you got to be a director to be able to go president.
Past director, the Grand Poobah over at Hebron High School. It's Coach Brian Brazel, a clean-shaven Brian Brazel, which leads me to my first question: how dare you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've gone through the mustache, we've gone through the beard, and now this is like classic Brazel. This is,
Yeah. Well, last year the beard was the COVID beard, so I had to have that, and then I don't know what the mustache was. I really don't know why I grew it that year. It was just something I did.
Blacked out for a year.
I don't know what I was thinking. But going back to my college days when I had the mustache working. But, just been shaving. My wife got me a new trimmer for Christmas, and I've been using it every day, so it kind of works.
Oh, the hint.
Yep. So,
listen, we all know who's making the decisions over there.
Absolutely.
And it ain't you.
Yeah, absolutely.
First and foremost, I know you're obviously tuned in with the THSCA, a big part of what they do. I have to imagine that being back here, being around people, and just this happening again has to make you feel good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think the big thing that we're glad we were able to have a season last year. It was a lot different than it ever been, obviously, but the fact that we were able to do it. I really credit the state of Texas for their willingness to try to get things going and doing that. But to come to this and see this and be back at coaching school, it just brings a smile to your face because you're catching up with people I hadn't seen in a long time, and people you usually see all the time. But it's just it's a great event. I was sitting there listening to all the college coaches speak last night. Just the excitement of the upcoming year, getting here and getting back to it is exciting, and I don't know why with the people I have to play, but but at the same time, it is good. It's just to be able to go out and play, and it's always fun to do that.
Every coach I've talked to is excited about hopefully things being in the rearview mirror, things being better in 2020. Than in 2020, when you talk with your kids. Is there a sense of relief among them too? Because I know it's hard on coaches, to put in the protocols and stuff like that. But can you sense a sense of relief from the kids as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing that was tough about last year, I look back on it, I don't feel I did a great job because I felt like I hate to say catering to COVID, but it was like I felt bad for the kids. I was kind of, I should just be happy they're showing up.
Yeah.
Should just be, and then after the end of the season, I look back, I said, man, I wasn't the coach I needed to be. I wasn't as demanding. I wasn't as – the kids did a great job of showing up. That's not what I'm saying. But I think there was just always that concern and fear that we could get shut down at any time. So you just wanted to but when the season finished, we started off season, I said, forget that. We're going back to football mode. We got to get ready to play a football game. And we can't – not that we didn't continue to follow protocols, but we just said, hey, if you get sick, you're going to get sick, and we'll deal with that. But, man, we got to work out. We got to do the mat drills. We got to do all the work that we have to do to get ourselves prepared to be the best football team we can be. And I think the kids really enjoyed that. The kids embraced the fact of doing that. But the number one thing I saw from the kids is they just enjoy being together, and I enjoyed just the camaraderie of having each other, being around each other. I think they even like being around us coaches.
Wow.
Yeah, at times. But, that was few and far between. But, no, they did. I think – just the normalcy of it all is just been great. This year, our strength and conditioning numbers are better than they've ever been, and I just think the kids are just excited, or the parents just wanting them out of the house. Whichever way you look at it.
It can be both.
Either way.
It can be both. Well, and you talk about the pent up demand and the pent up guys who want to get out there and be around guys because as football teams are social creatures. You know what I mean? They're they want to be together, and so it's cool to hear that. I will say, we saw your boys down there in College Station at the state 7-on-7 tournament, and I came away awful impressed with some of the some of the playmakers that you guys were able to have out there. I don't know if I've ever actually talked to you about your view on 7-on-7, but obviously pretty darn good showing down there in College Station. I'm interested in what you took away from seeing them go out there and compete.
Yeah, I mean, the big takeaway, those guys, I mean, this group of kids, since they were in middle school, they've been doing that. They've been putting in the time and going and doing. That's something they've enjoyed doing. They enjoy being together. It is a very close-knit bunch of group, kids in this senior class. And again, there was a few juniors that were in there with them as well that I guess they invited them into their group. But last year they didn't get to do the 7-on-7 was shut down last year. But they still found other tournaments on outside things to go and do. So they continued to do that. They did it through the early parts of the winter time, and then whenever the 7-on-7 season started, our kids won in their first tournament, and they were qualified. But they still went and played. They went down to LSU and played in the tournament. They went to Northwest Louisiana, Midwestern. They just went all over. They just like going and doing that, being together. And I think you said it best. I mean, they just like being together, and I think that was the big thing. But then going down there, obviously, you go down and win. Again, 7-on-7 is not football. We all know that. But when you go down there, if you can go and win that, that's a good accomplishment in that realm as a 7-on-7 person. But you got to compete hard. You got to stay together. You got to do a lot of things that are carryover to football. But it's still not blocking and tackling. I understand that. But just going and competing with the guys they did, I think it did bring a lot of confidence to them, something they felt very proud of. And so obviously, we're going to build on it. I mean, you always got to take things that you get, and you're going to say, hey, we're going to build on that. We're going to make it a positive in everything that they do. But real proud of how they came and did what they did. And I hate to bring a negative with a positive. I mean, 2 years ago we got kicked out of the tournament for doing some, getting in a fight and doing some stuff that was just not characteristic of how we want things to be done. But for them to come back 2 years later and do that, it was a completely different group. And but they came in and they did that, so I was just real proud of the way they built on that. So obviously we will build on that and do the things we have to do from it. But I was proud of how they competed, and I guess they won every game down there, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah, and I imagine, you're a defensive guy. I imagine it probably has look, it's underwear football, as somebody once described it to me. Yeah. But I imagine that, get your guys out there, your secondary and your linebackers out there competing, going up against really good quarterbacks and really good receivers, and coming out with is that something that you feel like there's no, I don't know if there's any apples to apples with 7-on-7, but at least at the very least, I came away saying, you know what, Hebron's going to have some guys, especially in the back end of that defense.
I mean, they went out and they competed their tails off. And like you said, you're playing against teams that throw the ball around a lot, and I mean, a lot of the coverages and stuff doesn't really exactly match up to what we do, but you're getting kids to learn. I mean, throughout the season, you're going to be matched up in one-on-one matchups with players, and you got to be able to break on balls and make plays and come up with interceptions and just come up in situational during the time. So I think it does. It just helps them to learn to do that. Like I said, it's not an exact science or anything. I mean, it is a little bit different, but at the same time, I mean, they're still out there competing and they're out there going at it. So, like I said, we're gonna build on it as a positive, and we're gonna learn from it and make ourselves better from it. But I mean, to me, we went down there, and I told the guys before they left, because I wasn't down there. Yeah. I was at a marriage conference trying to get my wife and my life together. Had to make sure to keep things straight.
Smart
but
man.
The big thing though was, just before they left, I said, well, hey, we're going down there to win it. I mean, that's what we're there to do. I mean, we're not going there, but just go out there and compete hard and do the best you can, and so hats off to those kids for going down there and competing like they did and representing us in a very positive way.
Well, and finally, you look forward to 2021. Hopefully a more normal season, as we mentioned. But you guys are coming off of have you ever gone 4-3 in a season? Is this the first 4-3 season in your coaching career?
I guess I've gone 4-3 on the district side before, but 4-3 was definitely and 3-2 in district. It was definitely strange. Yeah. And we didn't get to play 2 district games, and they get to play one of our non-district games, and that have all been real tough games. I mean, when you had Marcus Coppell and Arlington Martin, I might be glad I went 4-3 and they didn't have to play those guys, because it might not have turned out much better. 4 might have been the big number anyway, but no, I mean, that was it was strange for sure. But I'm hoping the thermometers are going to be put away and the social distance or all those things that go contact tracing. But I feel like we're going in the right direction. I see a lot of positives where we're at, and again, we're just excited about the chance to compete, and we know it'll be very tough physical schedule, to say the least.
I say this to you every time we talk, but, those non-districts, you don't have to do that.
Well, nobody's ever accused me of being the smartest guy. And generally, if somebody calls and asks if they want to play, I don't want to, I'm that guy. Well, I'm not going to back down from him. I mean, yeah, I'll play you. My coaches are like, come on, coach, you can do better than that. But, we got, we scrimmage Allen, and we got Geyer, and then we got Arlington Martin.
Sure.
And then we got Eaton. They just went 3 rounds deep last year.
Okay, so good. Well,
that's
nice
an easy
layup.
one. Yeah, so, no, I mean, we're just going to have those type of teams we're going to play. And, if you're going to be a good football team, you're just going to have to expect to play those guys, and you're going to have to face them eventually if you want to be winning those games in playoffs anyway. So I don't get too wrapped up in all that. I think the big thing is you just got to work to be the best you can be when those districts start, and then playing your best by week 11, and hopefully you're rolling into playoffs playing your best ball.
Coach, we appreciate your time, appreciate you stopping by, and I'm sure we'll see you in our office pretty soon. You just kind of wander in every once in a while.
Well, you're so close. I mean, only if Rob asked me to come over for lunch, I'll be there.
Okay.
I don't usually miss lunch. So, good
Coach.
seeing you. Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.